mic stand for me, will you? So I can see. I just know he doesn't usually use a script. Maybe it's the joke of the script.
Let's pull a rabbit out of the hat. I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. Anyway, give a hand for all the poets that came to this microphone tonight. They deserve at least a good round of applause. Normally I wouldn't have even came out tonight because it's January and I usually take January off to do some little introspection and whatnot. But I kind of figured that if I don't get it tonight, then I might not get it at all. So I would like to go and interview Brando the Great. Come on up if you can, please.
So, live?
Yes.
All right.
Get it.
Here we go. Do I need a seat? There you go. All right, let's go.
So, everyone that's been around ever since this thing, this poetry thing, this Johnson City Collective got started?
Yeah, well, it started right here on this stage in the 1990s. I don't know exactly when it started, but there was a guy named Richard Still. I'm not making that up. He started a poetry slam. He started a poetry slam. So back in it was Mike. Does anybody remember the guy that started the poetry slam in Chicago? What was his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Smith, right?
Smith, I think.
Mark
I think his
Smith.
name was literally Mike Smith.
Mark
This
Smith.
man was in a reading just like this in Chicago, but people were reading and talking and making a lot of noise, and he thought, well, how can we bring people in to actually listen to poetry? So he thought, hey, this is America, we'll make it a competition. And when he did that, that thus became Poetry Slam, not to be confused with what later became slam poetry, but the Poetry Slam was just the idea that we would have people in the audience, and there was different ways of doing it. But what we did is in this very room in 1993 or 4, we would pick 5 people out of the audience, and we'd give them a Sharpie and one of the big cards, 5 by whatever they are, but the big cards. And they would write a number down on the Sharpie. Now here's the way it worked. When you pick the 5, you'd randomly say, hey, who wants to be a judge? And you'd get 5, it could either be 5 tables or 5 individuals. It didn't really matter, you had 1 score for each card. So you'd give them the card, give them the Sharpie, and we would go up. You had a series of however many people there was, everybody went for round 1. And then round 1, we would take each of the scores. The reason we had 5 was we'd take the highest and lowest score and drop them. And then we'd take the 3 in the middle. That way, if your buddy was judging or whatever, you couldn't always get to 10, you know? And we encouraged decimal points that way to help avoid any kind of tie. I don't think God, we did it. It died in 1998. We buried it. I actually made a coffin and we walked it through this room. And so that system would work, and what we would do is we'd take those 3 scores, and then it would eliminate down to the next round, which would, depending on how many people were there, would either be 5 and 3, and then we would go through those, the same concept, and then there would be the last 2, which was always the slam off, which was the 3rd one. Now, it was a tradition back then that you would get whatever money came in at the door. It was $2 a person to be here, and an RC Cola and a moon pie. I don't know where that came from, but that's
RC
the
Cola?
thing. RC Cola and a moon pie. There's a thing about that, or used to be. Well, that was the thing, and Dick Steele he'd run it. He was hilarious. He was an inspiration for me to be a master of ceremonies because he was so funny. He kept the room flowing a lot better than I am. But one of the things is, so he got a really good job in Ohio. And then his brother, or no, it wasn't his brother, but there was
Bill Abbott.
Bill Abbott, that's right. Bill Abbott he took it over for a while after Dick left. Bill Abbott ran it, and then I helped. So Dick and Bill ran it together pretty much, and then when Dick left, I came on with Bill. Now here's one of the coolest things. In 1997, we had the regional, which means the whole southeast. We had the regional poetry slam here. This room was way beyond capacity. There were people standing every inch of this room if there could be a human.
I still got a T-shirt from that, Brandon. I'll bring
Yeah, I
it up.
have one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was killer. We had everybody from Atlanta, Charleston, Asheville. The Asheville team was amazing. I can't remember. I didn't know you were doing this, or I'd have looked this stuff up. Bill Abbott actually wrote a book about it. There's a book about the whole thing. But anyway, so that's kind of where this thing started. Well, I went to the College of Charleston, so I left for a while. Bill ran it for a little bit, but then Bill got married and he moved to Ohio. And that's when I came back one last season, and that's when we said, okay, it's the end of the poetry slam. And I literally made a little coffin, and we walked it through, and they played taps and everything. It was real sad. We all got drunk. So a few years after that, and I went away. I left town and came back several different times. And when I got back from the Appalachian Trail, Nora Stone approached me at the Acoustic Coffee House, and she said, I'd love to do a poetry reading. And she said, I know that you had done it down home many years ago. So back then, I don't know if any of you, I know several of you, but if you didn't know what the Acoustic Coffee House was, it was just this little, we call it a coffee house, but it was a dive bar with a stage. And we started with just literally a tiny microphone and one amp in the corner of the coffee house, and that's what we started doing it. And that's about the time that I met you. Were you around when Nora was there?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so then we decided what we wanted to do was make a collective, and it wasn't Nora, it was, what's her name, you know? Laura. Laura wanted to put together a group of some kind. And that's when the idea of the collective came along. So Laura, I guess we're not going to go much to a second round, I'm sorry. He's asking me to do this. So Laura decided we'd have this group, so we all used to meet at Waffle House and write poetry. We'd do prompts and put poetry together and that kind of thing. And then the next week we would read them at the Acoustic Coffee House. Well, then the coffee house bought the next door, and then we had a real big stage, and we started doing it at the next door of the coffee house for, I don't know, many years, until the coffee house shut down. And then thank Ed that we asked to come back here. So it's kind of a really crazy full circle. So here we are here at the Down Home, which is where it really was birthed in the beginning. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Down Home.
So, who are your cousins baton on to?
Adam and Lacey. Adam's already been kind of running the show real well.
Just to let you know, I'm from Philadelphia, and Philadelphia has poetry slams all the time,
Right?
and so we continue that tradition.
Awesome.
Yeah, I moved here to Tennessee not that long ago.
Hey, welcome, Angel. Yeah, man, you're part of the family now, all right?
I appreciate
All right.
that. But yeah, I mean, it continues on. I mean, it's across the U.S. I've been all across the United States, and
Right.
it's everywhere now.
Right?
So, and Doc Watson is big time in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you a really bad story that I probably shouldn't tell you, okay? Doc Watson was here, and I used to be a lot of friends, well, I was friends with Danny, he just passed away. Danny was a good buddy of mine. I could kind of get into shows that were sold out every now and again. And I came in here, and I can't remember his last name, but Keith was working here. Remember Keith? He always wore overalls. Keith had some moonshine.
Nice.
And I was sitting by Danny. Danny was smoking a cigar you could smoke in here back then. I was sitting right at the edge of that bar, and Keith kept feeding me that moonshine. I was chasing it with beer.
Oh,
And I was fine. But then a buddy of mine said, hey, do you think you could go in the back room? There's a back room back there that's infamous for a lot of different things. And I said, yeah, I think they let me go back there. And he said, will you get Doc to sign this CD for me? And I said, I'll try. And I walked back there, and Jack Lawrence was playing with him. And I had met Jack a little bit. I didn't know him that well, but we recognizable. He knew me. And he was standing right there, and I said, do you think you could? Well, as soon as I let go of that bar, I was fucked. I don't know. while I was all staggering, could hardly stand up. But I said, do you think you could get Doc to sign this for me? So we went through the swinging doors there, and Doc was in the back room, and he standing there with several people around him. And Jack said, hey, this boy wants you to sign this CD for him. And he was signing the CD, and I just fell into Doc Watson. Doc Watson he stood me up, and Jack Lawrence kind of helped me back off of him. And he signed it, and he handed it, he just did like that. And he said, I believe that boy's been drinking.
You think?
Is that how you became the president?
Something like that. Well, that was my trail name. That's a whole other story. That's kind of where it was birthed from. So, there you go, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. You want to do a few more? Is that all right? Okay, look. So listen, I've got to get people to sign up, but 5 minutes is the max that we're going to take a break. I got to take a leak, but 5 minutes.